The 80-20 Principle, The Secret to Achieving More by Doing Less, written by Ethan Carter, published by Great Audiobooks. Introduction. Every day, millions of people wake up feeling overwhelmed. They have long to-do lists, endless responsibilities, and the constant pressure to do more. They work tirelessly, thinking that putting in extra hours and taking on more tasks will lead them to success. Yet, despite all their hard work, they often feel stuck, exhausted, unfulfilled, and nowhere near their goals. The truth is, hard work alone does not guarantee success. What truly matters is where you focus your energy. Not all tasks carry the same weight. Some contribute massively to your success, while others drain your time with little to show for it. This is where the 80-20 rule comes in, a simple yet incredibly powerful principle that can change the way you approach work, success, and life itself. The rule states that 80% of your results come from just 20% of your actions. In other words, a small fraction of your efforts is responsible for the majority of your achievements, while most of what you do has little impact. Imagine a student preparing for an exam. If they try to read an entire textbook word for word, they may not have time to focus on the key concepts. But if they concentrate on the 20% of the material that is most important, such as previous exam questions and fundamental principles, they can achieve better results with far less effort. This same principle applies to business, relationships, health, and every aspect of life. Take a business. For example, most companies realize that 80% of their profits come from just 20% of their customers. If they spend their time trying to please everyone, they will waste resources on customers who contribute very little. But if they focus on their top 20%, loyal, high-paying customers, they can scale their business effortlessly. Likewise, in our personal lives, 80% of our happiness and satisfaction often come from just 20% of our relationships, habits, and experiences. The key to a fulfilling life is not working harder but identifying what truly matters and directing our energy there. Many people assume that success requires constant effort and endless hours of work. However, the world's most successful individuals follow a different path. They don't do more, they do less, but they do it smarter. An elite athlete doesn't spend every waking hour training on random exercises. Instead, they master a few key techniques that give them the biggest advantage. A business leader doesn't waste time chasing every opportunity. They focus on the few high-impact strategies that bring exponential growth. A skilled artist doesn't try to master every form of art, they specialize in a niche that makes them exceptional. The reality is, success is not about being busy. It's about being effective. The majority of what we do every day, endless meetings, unnecessary emails, unimportant social interactions, does not contribute much to our growth. But when we identify the 20% of our actions that bring the greatest rewards, we can work less, achieve more, and create a life that is both successful and fulfilling. This is the true power of the 80-20 rule. This book is designed to help you apply the 80-20 rule in every aspect of your life. It will guide you in identifying which tasks bring real results, how to eliminate distractions, and how to structure your work and personal life for maximum efficiency. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by too many responsibilities, you will learn to simplify your efforts and focus only on what truly moves the needle. Whether you are looking to grow your career, build a profitable business, improve your relationships, or simply have more time for what you love, this book will provide you with the tools and strategies to achieve success faster and with less effort. The 80-20 rule is not just about working smarter, it's about transforming your mindset. Once you learn to recognize where your biggest wins come from, you will no longer waste time on things that don't matter. You will experience greater success, less stress, and more freedom. Life becomes easier when you stop trying to do everything and instead focus on the few things that truly make a difference. Each chapter of this book is packed with practical insights, real-world examples, and step-by-step strategies to help you apply this principle in your daily life. No matter where you are in your journey, understanding and mastering the 80-20 rule will unlock new levels of efficiency, productivity, and fulfillment. This is not just another productivity concept, it's a complete shift in how you approach life and success. Once you start applying these principles, you'll wonder why you ever lived any other way. Chapter 1: Understanding the 80-20 Rule, the Key to Effortless Success. For centuries, people have believed that success is directly linked to the amount of effort they put in. The common belief is that working longer hours, taking on more responsibilities, and constantly staying busy will lead to greater achievements. This mindset has shaped the way people approach their goals, careers, and personal growth. However, despite all the hard work, many individuals find themselves stuck in a cycle of exhaustion with little progress to show for it. They put in so much effort, yet the results seem disappointingly small. If effort alone was the key to success, then why do so many hardworking people struggle while others achieve extraordinary results with seemingly less effort? The answer lies in a principle that has transformed the way successful individuals think and operate: the 80-20 rule. This principle, also known as the Pareto Principle, reveals a striking reality: not all efforts are equal. Some actions have a significantly larger impact than others, while most of what people do has little effect on their overall success. The 80-20 rule states that 80% of results come from just 20% of efforts, meaning that a small portion of activities contributes to the majority of success. This pattern is found in nearly every area of life. In business, 80% of profits often come from just 20% of customers. In relationships, 80% of a person's happiness typically comes from 20% of their connections. Even in personal growth, 80% of progress is often the result of focusing on the right 20% of habits and skills. Understanding this principle is crucial because it shifts the focus from working harder to working smarter. Many people believe that doing more will bring better results, but in reality, success is about focusing on what truly matters. Consider the example of Bill Gates, who built Microsoft into a global empire. Instead of trying to develop hundreds of different software programs, he focused on a few core products, Windows and Office, that became the foundation of his success. Similarly, Warren Buffett, one of the world's greatest investors, doesn't invest in hundreds of companies. Instead, he carefully selects a handful of businesses that generate the highest returns. These individuals didn't achieve success by doing everything. They achieved it by identifying the small percentage of efforts that bring the biggest rewards. The 80-20 rule is not just about business or financial success, it applies to every aspect of life. In fitness, for example, 20% of exercises produce 80% of the results. Instead of spending hours in the gym doing ineffective workouts, focusing on compound movements like squats, deadlifts, and bench presses can lead to faster muscle growth and strength. In academics, 20% of study strategies often lead to 80% of learning retention. Students who focus on understanding key concepts instead of memorizing everything often perform better with less study time. In relationships, 20% of the people in your life bring 80% of your happiness. Instead of maintaining surface-level connections with everyone, deepening meaningful relationships leads to a more fulfilling social life. Despite the power of this principle, many people waste time on the wrong things. They fill their schedules with activities that don't contribute to real progress, answering endless emails, attending unproductive meetings, scrolling through social media, or working on low-priority tasks. These activities create the illusion of productivity, but in reality, they add little value. By identifying and focusing on the 20% of actions that create 80% of the results, people can eliminate unnecessary effort and achieve more with less stress. Applying the 80-20 rule requires a shift in mindset. Instead of assuming that all tasks are equally important, it's essential to analyze which activities bring the biggest results. This begins by asking key questions: which 20% of my actions create 80% of my success? Which customers generate most of my revenue? Which habits contribute most to my well-being? Which tasks in my work bring the greatest impact? Once these high-value activities are identified, the next step is to prioritize them and reduce or eliminate everything else. A common mistake people make is trying to do everything, believing that all tasks deserve equal attention. However, focusing on too many things at once leads to scattered efforts and mediocre results. Instead, by concentrating on the few critical tasks that truly matter, individuals can channel their energy into the areas that bring the highest rewards. For example, if an entrepreneur discovers that 20% of their marketing efforts generate 80% of their sales, they should allocate more resources to those specific strategies rather than wasting time on ineffective campaigns. If a professional realizes that 20% of their work responsibilities contribute to most of their career success, they should prioritize those high-impact tasks instead of getting lost in minor details. Beyond identifying high-value tasks, the power of elimination is just as important. Most people don't struggle because they lack skills or effort, they struggle because they focus on the wrong things. The 80-20 rule isn't just about what to do, it's also about what to stop doing. Eliminating distractions, unimportant commitments, and low-value activities frees up time and mental energy to focus on what truly matters. Many businesses, for example, try to cater to every customer, but the reality is that 80% of profits usually come from just 20% of customers. Instead of spreading resources too thin, companies can improve efficiency by focusing on their most profitable clients. Applying this principle consistently leads to exponential growth. Instead of making slow, scattered progress, individuals see rapid improvements because their energy is directed toward high-impact activities. In work, this means accomplishing more in fewer hours. In relationships, it leads to deeper and more fulfilling connections. In learning, it allows for faster and more effective knowledge retention. In personal development, it ensures that time is spent on habits that create the greatest transformation. The 80-20 rule is not about doing less work, it's about doing the right work. Many people stay busy all day yet accomplish very little. Instead of simply working harder, the goal should be to work smarter by focusing on the actions, habits, and decisions that produce the greatest results. To start applying this principle immediately, the first step is to analyze daily activities and identify what truly makes a difference. This can be done by reflecting on past efforts and recognizing which actions have led to the biggest achievements. Next, low-value activities should be reduced or eliminated, allowing more time and focus to be placed on the high-impact 20%. Finally, it's important to track progress and adjust priorities regularly, ensuring that time and energy are always being spent in the most effective way. By integrating the 80-20 rule into daily life, individuals gain the power to achieve more with less effort, reduce stress, and create meaningful success. The world's highest achievers don't succeed by doing everything, they succeed by doing what truly matters most. Applying this principle consistently leads to a life of greater productivity, fulfillment, and freedom. Chapter 2: The Power of the Vital Few. Focusing on what truly matters. In today's fast-moving world, people often believe that success comes from working longer hours and filling their schedules with endless tasks. Many wake up every day, check their long to-do lists, and rush from one activity to another, hoping that their hard work will lead to progress. However, despite their efforts, they often find themselves exhausted, overwhelmed, and far from their goals. The truth is, not all tasks contribute equally to success. Some actions have a massive impact, while others make little to no difference. Recognizing this difference is what sets truly successful individuals apart from those who struggle. Instead of working harder, they work smarter by identifying and focusing on the vital few, the small number of activities that bring the greatest results. The 80-20 rule, also called the Pareto Principle, is a simple yet powerful concept that reveals an important reality: 80% of results often come from just 20% of efforts. This pattern appears everywhere. In business, a small percentage of customers generate most of the revenue. In personal productivity, a few tasks create the majority of progress. Even in relationships, a handful of people bring most of the joy and fulfillment, while others contribute little. The key to achieving more with less stress is learning to identify and prioritize the 20% of actions that lead to 80% of success while minimizing or eliminating the rest. Many people fail to reach their potential because they treat all tasks as equally important. They answer every email, attend every meeting, and say yes to every request, believing that being busy means being productive. But in reality, only a few tasks truly drive success. The rest are just distractions. Consider a business owner who spends hours every day handling small customer complaints, managing paperwork, and responding to emails. While these activities may seem necessary, they do not significantly contribute to business growth. The real drivers of success, such as building relationships with high-value clients, developing innovative products, and making strategic decisions, are often neglected. The most successful entrepreneurs understand that their time and energy should be directed toward the few activities that create the most value rather than being scattered across low-impact tasks. This principle applies not just in business but in all areas of life. Imagine two students preparing for the same exam. One spends hours reading every chapter of the textbook, taking detailed notes on everything. The other identifies the most important 20% of concepts that are likely to appear on the test and focuses deeply on mastering them. Even though the second student studies less, they perform better because they concentrated on what truly mattered. The same logic can be applied to fitness, where only a few exercises provide the majority of health benefits, or in relationships, where a small number of meaningful connections bring the greatest happiness. A perfect real-world example of the 80-20 rule is Apple's turnaround under Steve Jobs. When Jobs returned to Apple in 1997, the company was struggling with hundreds of products, many of which were not successful. Instead of trying to fix everything, he focused on the top 20% of products that had the most potential and eliminated the rest. This strategy led to the creation of revolutionary products like the iPhone, iPad, and MacBook, which accounted for 80% of Apple's revenue. By concentrating on the vital few, Apple became one of the most valuable companies in the world. The same principle applies to personal wealth. In almost every economy, 20% of people control 80% of the wealth. The wealthiest individuals don't necessarily work harder than others, they work smarter by focusing on high-impact investments, business opportunities, and financial strategies. Instead of working long hours doing low-paying jobs, they focus on making smart financial decisions that bring massive returns. Even in health and fitness, the 80-20 rule holds true. Many people spend hours doing ineffective workouts, hoping to get fit. However, research shows that only a few exercises, such as squats, deadlifts, and push-ups, provide the majority of strength and fitness benefits. Similarly, only a few healthy habits, like drinking water, eating nutritious food, and sleeping well, contribute most to long-term health. Instead of trying to follow complicated diet plans or exercise routines, people who focus on the vital few habits experience far better results. To apply the 80-20 rule in everyday life, it is crucial to first identify the vital few. This begins with asking important questions such as, which 20% of tasks bring 80% of my results, which 20% of customers contribute to 80% of my business success, which 20% of relationships bring me the most joy and fulfillment, which 20% of my efforts create 80% of my progress in fitness, learning, or personal growth. Once these high-impact areas are identified, the next step is to eliminate or minimize everything else. Many people struggle with this step because they feel obligated to do everything. They fear that if they stop focusing on small tasks, they might miss out on opportunities. But in reality, saying no to the trivial many is what creates space for the vital few. Warren Buffett, one of the world's most successful investors, follows a strategy called the 5-25 rule. He writes down 25 career goals and then chooses only the top 5 to focus on, completely ignoring the remaining 20. He understands that spreading effort across too many areas leads to mediocrity instead of mastery. Applying this mindset to daily life can create dramatic improvements in productivity, happiness, and success. In work and business, focusing on the most profitable tasks can lead to faster growth and higher income. In time management, eliminating low-value activities allows people to spend more time on what truly matters. In learning and skill development, mastering the most important concepts first leads to faster progress with less effort. In relationships, investing time and energy in meaningful connections brings greater fulfillment and emotional well-being. Many people believe that achieving success requires hard work, long hours, and constant hustle. But the reality is that success is not about doing more, it's about doing the right things. The 80-20 rule teaches us that life rewards those who focus on what truly matters. By identifying the vital few and eliminating the trivial many, anyone can achieve greater success with less stress, enjoy more freedom, and create a life filled with meaning, balance, and purpose. The path to extraordinary results is not about working harder, it's about working smarter and focusing on what makes the biggest impact. Chapter 3: The Art of Elimination, Doing More by Doing Less. In today's world, being busy is often seen as a sign of success. People wear their packed schedules like a badge of honor, constantly juggling tasks, responding to emails, attending meetings, and trying to keep up with never-ending to-do lists. But despite all this effort, many still feel stuck, unfulfilled, and far from their goals. The truth is, success does not come from doing more, it comes from doing the right things. The real secret to high achievement is not about adding more to your plate but removing what is unnecessary. The art of elimination is about cutting out the noise, distractions, and low-value activities so you can channel your time and energy into what truly matters. The 80-20 rule proves that only a small percentage of actions create most of our success, while the majority of what we do has little impact. Yet, people often spend their time on things that do not move them forward, checking social media, attending unnecessary meetings, engaging in meaningless conversations, or working on tasks that could be delegated or even ignored. Instead of focusing on high-impact actions, they stay trapped in an endless cycle of busyness. But being busy is not the same as being productive. Productivity is about making the greatest impact with the least effort, and this requires eliminating everything that does not contribute to real progress. Most people underestimate how much time they waste on non-essential tasks. Take the example of an entrepreneur who spends hours replying to minor emails, handling customer complaints, and getting involved in small operational tasks. These things may seem important, but they do not contribute significantly to business growth. Meanwhile, the key activities that could truly expand the business, like building partnerships, improving products, and creating long-term strategies, are often pushed aside. This happens in all areas of life. A student might spend hours reviewing unnecessary details instead of focusing on key concepts that will actually appear on the exam. A professional might agree to every request from colleagues, filling their day with small tasks instead of focusing on the big projects that will advance their career. When people try to do everything, they excel at nothing. Elimination starts with awareness. Most people are so accustomed to their daily routines that they rarely stop to question if what they are doing is actually useful. A simple exercise can reveal a lot, tracking your activities for a week and analyzing how you spend your time. Often, people discover that a significant portion of their day is consumed by things that add little to no value. By identifying these time wasters, it becomes clear what needs to be eliminated or reduced. The key question to ask is, what would happen if I stopped doing this? If the answer is nothing significant, then that task is a candidate for elimination. Once unnecessary tasks are identified, the next step is to actively remove them. Some tasks can be stopped entirely without any negative consequences. Many routines and habits exist simply because they have always been done, not because they are truly necessary. Other tasks may still need to be done but can be delegated to someone else. Successful people understand that they should focus only on what they do best and let others handle the rest. Then there are tasks that must be done but take up too much time. These should be streamlined or time-boxed to prevent them from expanding beyond their real importance. Instead of spending hours every day responding to emails, for example, setting a dedicated 30-minute time block for emails can dramatically improve efficiency. Meanwhile, the key activities that could truly expand the business, like building partnerships, improving products, and creating long-term strategies, are often pushed aside. This happens in all areas of life. A student might spend hours reviewing unnecessary details instead of focusing on key concepts that will actually appear on the exam. A professional might agree to every request from colleagues, filling their day with small tasks instead of focusing on the big projects that will advance their career. When people try to do everything, they excel at nothing. Elimination starts with awareness. Most people are so accustomed to their daily routines that they rarely stop to question if what they are doing is actually useful. A simple exercise can reveal a lot, tracking your activities for a week and analyzing how you spend your time. Often, people discover that a significant portion of their day is consumed by things that add little to no value. By identifying these time wasters, it becomes clear what needs to be eliminated or reduced. The key question to ask is, what would happen if I stopped doing this? If the answer is nothing significant, then that task is a candidate for elimination. Once unnecessary tasks are identified, the next step is to actively remove them. Some tasks can be stopped entirely without any negative consequences. Many routines and habits exist simply because they have always been done, not because they are truly necessary. Other tasks may still need to be done but can be delegated to someone else. Successful people understand that they should focus only on what they do best and let others handle the rest. Then there are tasks that must be done but take up too much time. These should be streamlined or time-boxed to prevent them from expanding beyond their real importance. Instead of spending hours every day responding to emails, for example, setting a dedicated 30-minute time block for emails can dramatically improve efficiency. One of the most difficult but powerful skills in the art of elimination is learning to say no. Many people struggle with this because they fear disappointing others, but every time they say yes to something unimportant, they are saying no to something that truly matters. The most successful individuals understand that protecting their time is critical. Warren Buffett once said, "The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. They focus only on the few activities that create the biggest impact and refuse to be distracted by trivial matters." Eliminating unnecessary tasks does more than improve productivity, it brings freedom. Freedom from stress, freedom from wasted energy, and freedom to focus on the things that actually make life better. It allows people to direct their time and effort toward their biggest goals and deepest passions instead of being trapped in endless, unimportant tasks. The path to success is not about working harder but about working smarter. It is about removing distractions, simplifying life, and making space for what truly matters. The less you do, the more you can achieve, because real success is not about doing more things, but about doing the right things exceptionally well. The main idea of this chapter is that true success and productivity do not come from doing more but from doing the right things. Most people waste time on unnecessary tasks that do not contribute significantly to their goals. The 80-20 rule reveals that a small percentage of efforts lead to the majority of results, while the rest is often just noise. The key to achieving more is to eliminate non-essential activities, delegate low-value tasks, and focus only on high-impact actions. By removing distractions and saying no to unnecessary commitments, people can free up time and energy for what truly matters. This shift not only increases efficiency but also leads to a more meaningful and stress-free life. Instead of constantly working harder, individuals should work smarter by focusing only on the most valuable tasks. The less unnecessary work they do, the more progress they can make toward their biggest goals. Chapter 4, Time Mastery, Working Smarter, Not Harder. Time is the most valuable resource in life, yet most people spend it carelessly. They let distractions, unnecessary tasks, and other people's priorities dictate their day, leaving little time for what truly matters. The greatest secret to success is not working longer hours or pushing yourself harder, it is mastering time. Those who understand how to control time instead of being controlled by it achieve extraordinary results while maintaining balance, freedom, and peace of mind. Many believe that being productive means filling every hour with tasks, but this is an illusion. True productivity is about getting the highest return on time invested. A person who works fewer hours but focuses on high-impact tasks will always outperform someone who is busy all day but scattered across low-value activities. This is why some people achieve massive success in a short time while others spend years struggling with little progress. The difference is not effort, it is time mastery. At the core of time mastery is intentional focus. Instead of reacting to everything that demands attention, successful people take control of their time by setting clear priorities. They know that most of their progress will come from a few key actions, so they identify and protect these high-value activities. A writer does not become successful by answering emails all day. They become successful by writing. A business owner does not grow their company by attending endless meetings, they grow it by making strategic decisions and building high-value relationships. Whatever the field, the same principle applies, only a few tasks truly move the needle, and everything else is secondary. One of the greatest time management secrets is the power of time blocking. Instead of working randomly throughout the day, highly effective people schedule specific blocks of time for their most important tasks. They treat these blocks as unbreakable commitments, free from interruptions and distractions. If deep work is not protected, it gets eaten up by minor obligations, notifications, and other people's demands. By setting aside time exclusively for meaningful work, productivity increases dramatically. Another powerful principle is the rule of 90/90/1. This rule states that for 90 days, the first 90 minutes of each workday should be dedicated to one most important goal. Most people spend their mornings checking emails, scrolling through social media, or responding to requests. But the world's top performers use their mornings to do deep, focused work on their biggest priorities. By dedicating the best part of the day to their highest value task, they make rapid progress without needing to work extra hours. Distractions are the enemy of time mastery. Every interruption, whether it is a message, a social media notification, or an unnecessary meeting, shatters focus and wastes energy. Studies show that after being distracted, it takes an average of 23 minutes to fully regain concentration. This means that even small distractions throughout the day can destroy productivity. Successful people take extreme measures to eliminate distractions. They turn off notifications, set specific times for checking messages, and create an environment where deep work is possible. Another critical concept is energy management. Time alone is not enough, what truly matters is the energy you bring to your work. Many people have hours available, but they are tired, distracted, or unmotivated. Peak performers protect their energy by prioritizing rest, exercise, and proper nutrition. They understand that a well-rested, energized mind can achieve more in one focused hour than an exhausted mind can in a full day. Managing energy means working in alignment with natural rhythms, taking strategic breaks, and ensuring that the mind and body are in peak condition. The secret to working smarter, not harder, is also found in the one-touch rule. This principle states that tasks should be handled only once whenever possible. For example, instead of reading an email and thinking, "I'll reply later," highly effective people respond immediately or schedule a dedicated time to clear emails in bulk. This prevents small tasks from piling up and consuming unnecessary mental space. Another key strategy is the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes to complete, do it immediately instead of delaying it. This prevents minor tasks from building up and becoming overwhelming. Small, quick decisions free up mental energy for bigger, more important work. One of the greatest time mastery secrets of all is learning to say no. Every yes to something unimportant is a no to something critical. The most successful people are ruthless about protecting their time. They do not attend every meeting, respond to every message, or say yes to every request. They focus only on the things that bring the greatest results and politely decline everything else. Warren Buffett once said, "The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything." The final secret of time mastery is compounding time, using time today in a way that multiplies its value in the future. Instead of solving problems repeatedly, highly effective people build systems and habits that save time long term. They automate repetitive tasks, create checklists to avoid mistakes, and invest in learning skills that make them more efficient. By setting up systems that work for them, they create a future where they can achieve more with less effort. Time mastery is not about working harder, it is about working intelligently. It is about knowing what matters most, eliminating distractions, protecting deep work, and maximizing energy. When these principles are applied, work becomes easier, success comes faster, and life feels more in control. Those who master time do not chase success, it comes to them effortlessly. The main idea of this chapter is that true productivity comes from mastering time, not working harder. Most people waste time on low-value tasks, distractions, and other people's priorities, leaving little room for meaningful work. The secret to success is intentional focus, eliminating unnecessary activities, and prioritizing high-impact tasks. Strategies like time blocking, the 90/90/1 rule, energy management, the one-touch rule, and saying no to distractions allow people to achieve more in less time. Those who master time do not just work efficiently, they create a system where success becomes inevitable, allowing them to achieve extraordinary results while maintaining balance and freedom. Chapter 5: The Power of Prioritization, Unlocking Maximum Results with Minimal Effort. Most people start their day feeling overwhelmed, drowning in a flood of responsibilities. Their to-do lists stretch endlessly, yet no matter how much they accomplish, they always feel like they're falling behind. They answer emails, attend meetings, complete small tasks, and respond to urgent requests, yet their biggest goals remain untouched. Why? Because success does not come from doing more, it comes from doing the right things. The difference between those who struggle and those who thrive is not effort but prioritization. The world's most successful people do not try to complete every task, they focus only on what truly matters. Eliminating the rest. At the heart of prioritization is the 80-20 principle, which reveals that 80% of results come from just 20% of actions. Yet most people make the mistake of spending too much time on the 80% of tasks that yield little progress, leaving them exhausted but unproductive. Imagine a business owner who realizes that only 20% of products generate 80% of revenue. Instead of wasting time on low-performing items, they focus on improving and expanding their best sellers. A student who identifies that a few study techniques produce the highest learning gains will invest more time in those methods instead of blindly reading for hours. This is the secret: prioritization is not about working harder. It is about working smarter. Understanding the power of prioritization. One of the simplest and most effective prioritization tools is the Eisenhower matrix, a method used by world leaders and top performers. It categorizes tasks into 4 quadrants. 1. Urgent and important. These require immediate attention, e.g., meeting deadlines, handling crises. 2. Important but not urgent. These lead to long-term success, e.g., strategic planning, skill building. 3. Urgent but not important. These feel pressing but don't create real value, e.g., unnecessary meetings, interruptions. 4. Neither urgent nor important. These are distractions, e.g., excessive social media, mindless tasks. Most people fall into the trap of constantly reacting to urgent tasks, spending most of their time in the first quadrant. However, the most successful individuals dedicate most of their energy to quadrant 2, which consists of important but non-urgent activities that create lasting success. Instead of just solving urgent problems, they focus on preventing them in the first place. The one thing that changes everything, a powerful prioritization technique, is the one thing rule, the idea that at any given time, there is one most important task that will create the biggest impact. Instead of dividing their focus across multiple tasks, high achievers ask, what is the one thing I can do right now that will make everything else easier or unnecessary? For example, when Jeff Bezos built Amazon, he focused on long-term customer obsession rather than short-term profits, leading to a global empire. Athletes who master one core skill at a time improve faster than those who train randomly. When people channel their focus into their highest value task, their productivity skyrockets. Eliminating decision fatigue. a hidden obstacle to prioritization is decision fatigue, the mental exhaustion caused by making too many choices. To combat this, high performers use the Ivy Lee method, a strategy that has been used by top executives for over a century. The process is simple. 1. Each night, write down the 6 most important tasks for the next day. 2. Rank them in order of importance. 3. The next day, start with the first task and work on it until it's done. Then move to the next. By following this system, people remove the mental burden of deciding what to do each day and ensure that their most important tasks are always completed. Task batching, the hidden productivity booster. One of the biggest mistakes people make is switching between too many tasks, which kills focus. Studies show that every time a person switches from one task to another, their brain takes time to adjust, leading to a drop in efficiency. To overcome this, high performers use task batching, grouping similar tasks together to reduce distractions and maximize deep work. For example, instead of checking emails all day, they batch emails into 2 dedicated time slots, once in the morning and once in the evening. Instead of holding meetings throughout the week, they schedule all meetings on the same day. This simple change can save hours of wasted time each week. The power of saying no. One of the greatest secrets of prioritization is learning the art of saying no. Every unnecessary commitment steals time and energy from what truly matters. Highly successful people are ruthless about protecting their time. Warren Buffett famously said, "The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything." Saying no is not about being rude, it is about setting boundaries. Steve Jobs once said, "Focusing is about saying no." When people learn to decline requests that do not align with their priorities, they free up time for what truly drives their success. The 10x rule, thinking bigger. Most people set small goals and take small actions, believing that progress comes in gradual steps. However, the 10x rule challenges this mindset by encouraging people to think on a much larger scale. What action can I take that will create results 10 times greater instead of just slightly better? High achievers don't focus on minor improvements, they aim for massive impact. Instead of making one sale at a time, they ask, how can I build a system that generates thousands of sales? Instead of learning slowly, they ask, how can I master this skill in record time? This shift in perspective doesn't just lead to faster progress, it multiplies results exponentially. By setting bold goals and taking bold actions, people unlock possibilities that seemed unreachable with an ordinary approach. Designing a life around priorities. One of the most powerful prioritization techniques is structuring life in a way that makes success inevitable. Rather than squeezing important work into an already packed schedule, the world's top performers design their days around their highest value activities. They align their work with their peak energy levels, ensuring that their most demanding tasks get their full focus. They don't just react to distractions, they eliminate them before they arise. They create systems that streamline their work, whether through automation, outsourcing, or delegation, so they can focus on what truly drives results. This approach transforms productivity from a constant struggle into a natural, effortless process. The true secret to achieving more with less, mastering prioritization, is what separates those who struggled despite working hard from those who seem to achieve success effortlessly. The key is understanding that not all tasks are equal. Some contribute massively to progress, while others drain energy without creating real value. When people start identifying and focusing on the few high-impact actions that truly move them forward, everything changes. Instead of ending each day exhausted with little to show for it, they experience rapid progress with significantly less effort. This isn't just a theory, it's a strategy that has been used by the world's most successful individuals. Those who adopt this approach achieve in months what others take years to accomplish. More importantly, they gain not only success but also freedom, clarity, and control over their lives, ensuring that their efforts lead to meaningful and lasting results. Chapter 6: The Power of Focus, Eliminating Distractions and Maximizing Results. In today's fast-paced world, distractions have become the biggest enemy of success. Whether it's the constant buzzing of notifications, the endless flood of emails, or the lure of social media, most people struggle to focus on one task for an extended period. They jump from one thing to another, believing they are being productive, but in reality, they are slowing themselves down. Focus is the key that separates those who achieve extraordinary results from those who remain stuck in the cycle of busyness. Those who master focus can accomplish in a few hours what others take days to complete. The first step to achieving true focus is eliminating distractions before they happen. Most people try to concentrate while surrounded by interruptions, endless text messages, noisy environments, or unnecessary meetings. However, the world's top performers don't just resist distractions, they remove them. They turn off notifications, create quiet workspaces, and set clear boundaries with colleagues, family, and friends. They know that their attention is their most valuable resource and they protect it fiercely. Instead of trying to fight distractions throughout the day, they create an environment where deep focus happens naturally. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that multitasking increases efficiency. Many take pride in juggling multiple tasks at once, answering emails while watching a video, writing a report while checking messages, but in reality, this habit reduces effectiveness. Scientific studies have proven that the brain cannot fully concentrate on two complex tasks simultaneously. When people switch between tasks, their brain loses momentum, making it take longer to complete each task while increasing mistakes. In contrast, successful individuals practice deep, single-tasking focus, dedicating their full attention to one important activity at a time. This allows them to produce higher quality results in less time while avoiding unnecessary stress. Time management plays a critical role in sustaining focus. Instead of working long hours and feeling exhausted, high achievers follow strategic work-rest cycles to maintain peak performance. Many use the Pomodoro technique, which involves working in focused 25 to 50-minute blocks followed by short breaks. Others prefer 90-minute deep work sessions with longer breaks in between. This approach aligns with how the brain naturally works, allowing intense focus for a set period and then recovering, preventing burnout while maximizing productivity. Unlike those who force themselves to work non-stop and experience mental fatigue. Focused individuals work in cycles of high energy and rest, leading to better performance throughout the day. However, focus is not just about external distractions, it is also about internal discipline. Even in a quiet environment, the biggest interruptions often come from within: self-doubt, overthinking, and wandering thoughts. Many people start a task only to be distracted by random ideas, unnecessary worries, or doubts about whether they are doing it right. This mental noise can be just as damaging as external distractions. That's why successful individuals train their minds through meditation, mindfulness, and deep breathing exercises to stay present and fully engaged in their work. By strengthening their mental discipline, they reduce stress, increase clarity, and develop the ability to concentrate effortlessly. Another secret of world-class focus is energy management. Most people assume that lack of focus is a self-control issue, but in reality, it's an energy problem. When people are mentally and physically exhausted, it becomes nearly impossible to concentrate. That's why top achievers prioritize high-energy habits. They get quality sleep, eat nutritious foods, and exercise regularly. They also protect their mental energy by avoiding negative people and unnecessary drama, so their mind stays sharp and focused. They understand that sustaining focus is not just about willpower, it's about taking care of the body and mind. Perhaps the greatest secret of focus is that the most successful people don't waste time deciding what to focus on every day. They have systems that automatically guide their attention to the most important tasks. They eliminate, automate, or delegate low-value activities, so they don't have to waste energy on them. They don't just try to resist distractions, they build a life where distractions don't exist. They design their days around their priorities instead of letting the outside world dictate their schedule. Mastering focus is the difference between struggling to keep up and effortlessly excelling. Those who train themselves to concentrate deeply on meaningful work will always outperform those who allow distractions to steal their time. The ability to focus is one of the rarest and most valuable skills in today's world, and those who develop it will achieve success at a level most people can only dream of. In a noisy and chaotic world, focus is the ultimate superpower, one that can turn an ordinary life into an extraordinary one. Chapter 7: The Power of Consistency, How Small Habits Create Big Change. Success is not about sudden breakthroughs or big leaps. It is about small, daily actions that accumulate over time. The world's most successful people, whether in business, sports, or personal growth, understand that what you do every day matters more than what you do once in a while. It is not intelligence, talent, or even luck that determines long-term success. It is the ability to show up every single day, even when there are no visible results. Imagine two people who both want to get in shape. The first one goes to the gym for 5 hours in a single day but doesn't return for a month. The second one works out for just 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week. At first, the difference seems small. But after 6 months, one person has barely improved, while the other has transformed their health. This is the power of consistency. Small, repeated efforts will always outperform short bursts of intense effort. One of the greatest examples of consistency is Thomas Edison. He conducted over 10,000 experiments before finally inventing the light bulb. Most people would have quit after a few failures, but Edison understood that persistence is the key to discovery. When asked about his failures, he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His relentless consistency led to one of the greatest inventions in human history. The same principle applies to Warren Buffett, one of the world's richest men. His wealth wasn't built overnight, it was the result of decades of disciplined investing. Instead of chasing quick profits, Buffett followed a simple but powerful habit: investing wisely and letting his money grow over time. His strategy is based on the principle of compounding, small, steady gains that multiply into massive results. Consistency is also what made Kobe Bryant one of the greatest basketball players of all time. While others relied on talent, Kobe relied on relentless daily practice. He would wake up at 4 a.m. to train while his competitors were still sleeping. He practiced the same moves thousands of times until they became second nature. His secret wasn't just talent, it was his obsession with improving a little every single day. When asked why he trained so hard, he simply said, "I refuse to be outworked." But consistency is not just for athletes and billionaires. It applies to every area of life. If you want to be healthy, you don't need to follow extreme diets or spend hours at the gym. You just need to make small, healthy choices consistently, drinking more water, walking daily, eating nutritious food. If you want to master a skill, you don't need to study for 10 hours straight. Practicing for 30 minutes a day, every day, is far more effective. The biggest mistake people make is expecting instant results. They start a new habit but quit when they don't see immediate changes. They go to the gym for a week, don't see any difference, and stop going. They start a business, don't make money right away, and give up. But success works like planting a tree: at first, nothing seems to happen. You water it daily, but for weeks or even months, you see no visible progress. But underneath the surface, roots are growing, strengthening the foundation. Then, one day, a small sprout appears. Over time, that sprout becomes a mighty tree. Every great success story follows this pattern: invisible effort, persistence, and finally, a breakthrough. To make consistency easier, focus on identity-based habits. Instead of saying, "I want to exercise," say, "I am a healthy person." Instead of saying, "I want to be productive," say, "I am a disciplined worker." When you align your habits with your identity, consistency becomes effortless. The world's most successful people don't wait for motivation, they commit to habits that shape who they are. One of the greatest enemies of consistency is perfectionism. Many people believe they must be perfect every single day, and when they miss a day, they feel like they've failed. But the truth is, missing one day won't ruin your progress, giving up will. If you skip the gym once, it doesn't matter. If you eat one unhealthy meal, it won't destroy your diet. The key is to never miss twice. Success is not about being perfect, it's about being consistent, even when things aren't perfect. The real secret to achieving anything in life is sticking to small, productive actions long enough to see results. The greatest athletes, inventors, and business leaders didn't succeed by luck or sudden genius. They built success through years of disciplined, daily effort. The question is not whether consistency works, it does. The only question is, will you commit to it long enough to experience the results? Chapter 8, The Power of Deep Work, Mastering Focus in a Distracted World. In today's fast-paced world, where notifications, emails, and social media constantly demand attention, most people struggle to focus deeply. Instead of completing important work, they get caught up in minor tasks, jumping from one thing to another without making real progress. This scattered attention leads to exhaustion, frustration, and the feeling of being busy but unproductive. However, those who master the art of deep work, the ability to concentrate without distraction for long periods, unlock extraordinary levels of success. They accomplish in hours what others take days or weeks to finish. The world's most successful individuals and greatest thinkers all share one thing in common: they structure their lives around deep, focused work. Deep work is the opposite of shallow work. While shallow work includes replying to emails, attending unnecessary meetings, and scrolling through social media, deep work involves high-value activities that require intense focus, creativity, and problem-solving. This type of work leads to breakthrough ideas, innovations, and significant progress. Elon Musk, despite managing multiple billion-dollar companies, structures his day into focused work blocks, eliminating distractions so he can solve complex engineering problems. Bill Gates famously takes Think Weeks twice a year, where he isolates himself in a cabin to read, strategize, and generate new ideas. Many of Microsoft's greatest innovations were born during these deep thinking sessions. Even legendary authors like J.K. Rowling have used deep work to create their masterpieces. While writing Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, she checked into a hotel and disconnected from the outside world to fully immerse herself in the story. Without this deep focus, she would not have been able to create a book that inspired millions. The science behind deep work explains why it is so powerful. When people concentrate deeply, their brains enter a heightened state known as flow. In this state, time seems to slow down, distractions disappear, and productivity skyrockets. Neuroscientists have found that during deep work, the brain forms stronger neural connections, leading to faster learning, better problem solving, and higher creativity. Dr. Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, the psychologist who studied flow, found that people who engage in deep, meaningful work are not only more successful but also experience greater happiness and fulfillment. However, most people struggle with focus because they have never trained their minds to concentrate for long periods. The modern world conditions people to seek constant stimulation, scrolling through social media, checking notifications, and switching between tasks. Research shows that every time someone gets distracted, it takes an average of 23 minutes to fully regain their focus. This means that even a short interruption can ruin an entire hour of productivity. The key to mastering deep work is not just willpower but building an environment and habits that make distractions impossible. One of the most effective ways to enhance deep work is designing an environment that promotes concentration. Many people try to focus while surrounded by distractions, phones buzzing, background noise, or cluttered workspaces. High achievers eliminate these distractions before they even begin working. They put their phones on airplane mode, close unnecessary browser tabs, use noise-canceling headphones, and set clear boundaries so others do not interrupt them. Some even create rituals to enter deep work mode, such as starting the day with meditation, using a specific workspace, or listening to the same music to signal their brain that it is time to focus. Another powerful strategy is single-tasking instead of multitasking. Many believe that handling multiple tasks at once increases productivity, but studies show the opposite. The human brain can only fully focus on one complex task at a time. When people switch between tasks, they experience a phenomenon called attention residue. Their brain stays partially focused on the previous task, making it harder to fully concentrate on the next one. The world's top performers understand this, so they dedicate uninterrupted time blocks to a single important task instead of jumping between multiple things. Time management also plays a crucial role in maintaining deep focus. Instead of working non-stop for hours, the most productive people use techniques like the 90-minute focus method or the Pomodoro technique. They work with complete focus for a set time, often 90 minutes, then take a short break before diving back in. This allows them to maintain high levels of energy and mental clarity while avoiding burnout. However, focus is not just about managing external distractions, it also requires mental discipline. Negative thoughts, self-doubt, and overthinking can be just as disruptive as social media notifications. Training the mind to stay present and committed to a task is essential. Some of the world's most successful individuals use meditation, mindfulness, and breathing exercises to sharpen their concentration and reduce mental clutter. Legendary investor Warren Buffett has often said that the most important investment you can make is in your own mind. He spends hours each day reading and thinking deeply, ensuring that he remains sharp and focused on what truly matters. One of the greatest secrets of deep work is that it is not about forcing yourself to focus, it's about designing your life in a way that makes focus effortless. The highest achievers in the world do not waste their mental energy fighting distractions. Instead, they remove distractions entirely. They delegate or automate low-value tasks, set strict boundaries around their time, and create daily routines that ensure they focus on their most important work. Steve Jobs, for example, was famous for wearing the same outfit every day, not because he lacked fashion sense, but because he wanted to eliminate unnecessary decisions so he could focus all his energy on innovation. In the end, mastering deep work is what separates those who struggle to keep up from those who dominate their field. In a world where most people are constantly distracted, those who can train themselves to focus deeply will always have the advantage. The greatest breakthroughs in history, from Einstein's theories to SpaceX's engineering marvels, were born from long periods of uninterrupted, deep thinking. The ability to control attention is the foundation of success, and those who develop this skill will unlock their full potential. The question is simple: will you let distractions control your time, or will you take control and unlock the power of deep work? Chapter 9: The Invisible Force, How Beliefs Shape Reality. Every person's life is shaped not just by external circumstances but by the invisible force of their beliefs. The way people see themselves, their abilities, and the world around them determines their actions, decisions, and ultimately, their success or failure. Some individuals rise above challenges, breaking barriers and accomplishing the impossible, while others remain trapped in cycles of limitation. The key difference isn't intelligence, luck, or resources, it is the power of belief. Throughout history, individuals who defied conventional wisdom have reshaped reality itself. Roger Bannister, for example, shattered the belief that running a mile in under 4 minutes was physically impossible. Before he did it in 1954, doctors and athletes claimed the human body wasn't capable of such a feat, yet once Bannister proved it could be done, dozens of runners broke the same record within a year. The ability was always there, the only thing that changed was belief. This is the essence of how beliefs shape reality. What people accept as truth becomes their experience. Beliefs act as filters, shaping how people interpret events. Two individuals can face the same challenge, yet one sees it as an opportunity while the other views it as an obstacle. A person who believes they are capable will push forward, find solutions, and take action. Meanwhile, someone who doubts themselves will hesitate, give up easily, or never even try. What people believe about themselves defines what they achieve. One of the biggest obstacles to success is limiting beliefs, the invisible mental barriers that tell people they are not smart enough, talented enough, or deserving of success. Many of these beliefs are planted in childhood, reinforced by past failures or societal conditioning. If someone grows up hearing that money is hard to make, they unconsciously develop habits that keep them financially struggling. If they believe they are bad at math, they avoid practicing and never improve, reinforcing the false belief. These beliefs become invisible cages that trap people inside their comfort zones, but the most successful minds in history have all discovered the same truth: beliefs are not fixed, they can be changed. Just as negative beliefs create failure, empowering beliefs create success. Thomas Edison failed over 10,000 times while inventing the light bulb, but instead of seeing failure, he believed each attempt brought him closer to success. Oprah Winfrey, once fired from her first television job and told she wasn't fit for TV, refused to let others define her potential. Elon Musk, despite having no formal background in rocketry, believed he could build a private space company, and he did. Changing beliefs begins with awareness. Most people never stop to examine their thoughts, allowing limiting beliefs to control their lives. But once a person becomes aware of a belief, they can challenge it. Is this really true, or is it just something I've accepted without question? By actively questioning old assumptions, people open the door to new possibilities. One of the fastest ways to change beliefs is through experience and proof. If someone believes they are terrible at public speaking, the best way to break that belief is by speaking more. Small wins build confidence and rewrite mental patterns, proving past limitations were never real. Another powerful method is changing environments. If someone wants to be financially successful, spending time around wealthy, financially intelligent individuals naturally reshapes their mindset. We adapt to the beliefs of those around us. Another proven technique is visualization, a method used by the world's top athletes, entrepreneurs, and high achievers. The subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between reality and imagination, which is why mental imagery is so powerful. Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympic swimmer, mentally rehearsed his races in vivid detail thousands of times before competing. By the time he stood on the starting block, he had already lived the moment so many times in his mind that his body naturally followed. When people consistently visualize success, their actions align with that vision, but belief alone is not enough, it must be followed by action. Those who believe in themselves take bolder steps, persist longer, and recover faster from setbacks. Meanwhile, those who doubt themselves hesitate, procrastinate, and abandon their goals too soon. This explains why two people with the same skills can have vastly different outcomes. One believes they will succeed and keeps pushing forward, while the other holds back, letting fear dictate their decisions. The world does not reward talent alone, it rewards those who believe in their ability to use their talent. Every major success story begins with someone who decided to believe in themselves, even when no one else did. Steve Jobs, despite being fired from Apple, believed in his vision and returned to make it the most valuable company in the world. Arnold Schwarzenegger, with a thick accent and no Hollywood connections, believed he could become a movie star, and he did. The secret to changing any area of life, health, wealth, relationships, or career, starts with changing the beliefs that shape it. By questioning limiting thoughts, gathering new experiences, and visualizing success, anyone can rewire their mind for greatness. Those who master their beliefs master their destiny. Chapter 10, The Science of Energy, Unlocking Unlimited Vitality for a Powerful Life. Energy is the foundation of everything: your health, success, and ability to stay positive and productive. Without energy, even the best strategies, knowledge, and ambitions become useless. However, many people wake up feeling exhausted, spend their days drained, and rely on caffeine or temporary boosts just to get through. They believe that energy is a fixed resource that decreases with age or workload, but the truth is, energy is something you can generate, manage, and protect. The most successful individuals don't have more time than others, but they do have more energy. They understand how to create and sustain high levels of energy, allowing them to achieve more in a day than others do in weeks. The biggest mistake people make is thinking that energy only comes from food or sleep. While these are important, energy is influenced by movement, mindset, emotions, environment, and even the people around you. Some activities leave you feeling refreshed and alive, while others drain you completely. Similarly, some people inspire and energize you, while others exhaust you with negativity. This happens because energy is contagious, and the way you think, move, and interact with the world determines whether you feel powerful or depleted. One of the most common reasons people struggle with low energy is because they constantly leak energy throughout the day. They spend time overthinking, stressing about unnecessary things, and multitasking, which weakens their ability to focus. They surround themselves with negative people who drain their motivation and fill their minds with distractions like social media, pointless conversations, and unproductive habits. Their bodies suffer from processed foods, lack of movement, and poor sleep, all of which reduce their natural energy levels. Instead of creating energy, they are unknowingly wasting it. The first step toward unlocking unlimited energy is to identify and eliminate these energy leaks. When you stop wasting energy on things that weaken you, you naturally have more power for the things that matter. Once you eliminate what drains you, the next step is learning how to generate energy on demand. The most successful people in the world do not rely on motivation, they use science-backed techniques to create energy whenever they need it. One of the simplest but most powerful methods is mastering your morning routine. The way you start your day determines your energy levels. Instead of checking your phone and rushing, successful individuals start their mornings with movement, hydration, and deep breathing. Even 10 minutes of stretching or a short walk can activate the body's natural energy systems and create momentum for the day. Movement is another critical factor in maintaining high energy. Most people believe they should conserve energy by resting, but the truth is, the more you move, the more energy you generate. Sitting for long periods slows circulation, reduces oxygen supply to the brain, and leads to fatigue. Simple habits like standing while working, stretching every hour, or walking after meals can drastically improve energy levels. Another secret to instant energy is deep breathing. Most people breathe shallowly, which limits oxygen flow to the brain and muscles. Practicing deep belly breathing for just a few minutes floods the body with oxygen, instantly boosting mental clarity and physical stamina. Nutrition also plays a key role in energy production. Many people eat foods that make them feel full but not energized. Processed and sugar-filled foods create energy crashes, leaving them feeling tired and sluggish. On the other hand, natural foods, such as fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and high-quality proteins, provide lasting energy without the crashes. Hydration is another overlooked factor. Even mild dehydration can cause fatigue and brain fog. Drinking enough water throughout the day helps maintain energy and focus. Managing energy is not just about physical health, it also requires mental discipline. Negative thoughts, self-doubt, and unnecessary worries can be just as draining as external distractions. Training the mind to stay present and focused is essential for maintaining high energy. Simple practices like meditation, mindfulness, or even a few minutes of deep breathing can help clear the mind and sharpen concentration. The world's top performers understand that their thoughts control their energy, so they guard their minds as carefully as they guard their time. The most powerful secret of energy is that it's not about willpower alone, it's about designing a life that naturally generates energy. The most successful people do not fight distractions and low energy, they eliminate them. They automate, delegate, and remove low-value tasks so their energy is fully directed toward what truly matters. They create environments that support focus, routines that increase vitality, and habits that make high energy effortless. Imagine waking up every morning feeling powerful, clear-minded, and unstoppable. Imagine having enough energy to work on your dreams after a long day, instead of collapsing into exhaustion. This level of energy is not reserved for a select few, it is available to anyone who learns to manage and generate energy effectively. The difference between those who struggle and those who thrive is not luck, intelligence, or talent, it is energy management. The highest achievers in every field, from world-class athletes to billionaires, know that without energy, nothing else matters. They prioritize energy first, and everything else falls into place. If you take control of your energy, you take control of your life. When you stop wasting energy on things that drain you and start actively creating energy, you unlock a level of success, health, and happiness that few people ever experience. Energy is not something you have, it is something you create. And once you learn to generate unlimited energy, there are no limits to what you can achieve.